GM, everyone. Today we have a very exciting project with us, and that is Nifty League, and they're doing a lot of great things in an NFT gaming space, so we are going to hear all about them today. But first, let's introduce the team. So, who are you guys? And let us know who Nifty Andy is, who's Snarfy, who's Bolo Dave, and who's Megan.
Hey everyone, I'm Andy. I'm the CEO of Nifty League right now. I used to work for Activision. Actually, funny story, I used to work under Snarfy. He was my manager back in the day. So yeah, I've been in the crypto space since like early 2017. Started off mining and kind of just fell in love and really just been passionate and waiting for my opportunity in this space. And here we are. So yeah, pleasure to be here today. Speak with you guys.
Hey, Officer. Hey, guys. Thanks for having us. I'm Snarfy, co-creator, and my current title is CTO. I used to work at Activision also for about 7 or 8 years. And when the opportunity, we got talking about Nifty League last year with Andy, talking about like there is no gaming, like real gaming platforms on chain, and there are no real NFT games. So it was a really exciting opportunity then, and it is still very new, and we just took the opportunity. And I'm happy to be here and chatting with you guys.
Yeah, hey, what's up, GM everyone? I'm Bolo Dave. I'm program and community manager for Nifty League. In my past life, I'm a music producer. Always loved Smash Brothers, and found this project way early on, back in September, and it's just a pleasure to be on the team. I just fell in love with it, and just been grinding with these guys ever since.
Awesome.
Hey everybody, I'm Megan. I'm the VP of Ops at Nifty League. I found this project in November in a Twitter space and kind of worked on the side for a couple of months and joined full-time in January. My background's in product and growth. I'm really excited to kind of be part of one of the best NFT gaming platforms out there and just be along for the ride with everyone here.
It is the best. It's not one of the best. It is the best. But anyways, let's talk about the background of Nifty League. What is Nifty League all about?
I guess I'll take it. We are, we kind of started early off looking to really just create fun games. It's really what we saw a hole in the market. There wasn't really anything out there that really kind of brought actual gamers into this space. So we're really kind of bridged people over here. And our first game we made, Nifty Smashers, has really been a hit, and it's just it really brings you back to that nostalgic of old retro gaming, and it's just fun to play, which is really like the core of our business. So you'll probably hear us often say that we're trying to be like the Nintendo of Web3, and that's really what we're doing. We're building a bunch of fun kind of retro interactive games. So we have like a tennis game coming, a Mario Kart game coming, a whole bunch of other games that are just really fun to play, and that's kind of the core of our project.
Okay, cool. And as someone who's had experience in the traditional gaming space, what made you bullish on Web3 gaming?
Can I answer that? I guess I can take that. As everybody probably knows who's listening to this, in traditional gaming, you are having fun. There are fun games that you can play, but at the end of the day, everything that has to do with owning assets and getting something out of playing the game, that doesn't exist, right? So if it is a game that you grind for a currency, like an in-game currency, that's just where you can spend it. And if you're grinding for that purple gun or something, whatever it is that you're grinding for, as soon as you get it, that's pretty much it, and you can't really do anything else. I think that's where the crypto comes in and helps in that regard. Imagine if the games after, like all the games after, the currency was a real currency that you could like exchange for money and also bring into the game, play the game, enjoy it, and also maybe make some money if that's what you want to do, and also own the assets that you maybe grind for, and have a secondary market that you can exchange it for money or exchange it for other items. And that's like one side of things, and then the other side of things is how intuitively it kind of fits in with the competitiveness of gaming space. If you think about how competitive people get with some of these games, they really want to be competitive. They try to organize their own tournaments, their own like betting systems, their own teams. There is no organic way of doing that at the moment. Not that like any of the companies support it or anything, because there is no big money or there is nothing in them for the companies, the game companies. But I think with the introduction of crypto into gaming, that opens the door to a lot of these exciting opportunities for the players who are competitive and are really good at the game to actually have a native way of organizing these tournaments and being competitive and being rewarded for it. That's like what makes me really excited about Web3 gaming.
Yeah, awesome. And what would you say is your thoughts on the current NFT gaming space?
Bolo,
Andy, I see you
or
smiling.
Andy, feel free to hop in and answer any one of these questions. But I think the current state, well, we are still very early, as we all know. So it's not like this industry has been operating for a very long time. So the way that it's emerged and the way that it's evolved during like the past year or two, I would say, it's been eye-opening, right? And a lot of the work that has been done has been paving the way for future games and future Web3 games and NFT games and things like that. So even though the current state of it is not ideal, is what I'm getting at, I think it had to be done, and the things that have happened had to have happened for us to be here. But do I think that this state is gonna stay and this is gonna like how it's gonna grow? I don't think so. I don't think that the play to earn aspect is going to be here for a very long time. It's a very nice way for the projects to grow and acquire players, but it's not sustainable, as everybody knows. But yeah, the current state is very exciting, but I think there's so much room to grow, and that's where like we were exploring different ways to use this crypto, like crazy new system that is crypto in gaming, exploring what works best. And I think that's the race that everybody is in at the moment. And hopefully we see some exciting developments in it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the space is so new and we're all just learning at the same time. And yeah, the first few games, obviously, Axie Infinity is not doing very well, but it was the first game. So obviously, like no one's an expert at this yet. And you can't expect the first try to be successful. Everyone fails at their first attempt. So that's just how I see it. I think like NFT gaming just provides so much value to the consumer and the creator. So I just don't see it not succeeding. But anyways, you guys, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess if I could chime in here too. Like, I think Axie had to do a really hard thing. I mean, they had to kind of pave the way, and it's kind of been the case study for a lot of NFT gaming companies like us. I mean, I think we're all talking about play to earn being sustainable. That's obviously a big issue that you see all over Twitter. But I think one thing that we do know is sustainable is having fun playing games, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's like our whole mindset, at Nifty League is like, well, if it's not fun, I mean, no one's going to keep coming back. I mean, like no one started, you didn't pick up Mario when you were a kid, to make money. But if it was like, if it was an outcome of having fun, I think it's much more sustainable. And that's why we're really kind of leaning into that, play and earn, that, that competitive aspect, being able, if you want to kind of wager on yourself, like all those types of things, where it's not just contingent on just earning. But I think earning is a big thing. We all want to earn. We're in the NFT space. We like it when the price goes up, the floor goes up, but it can't just be the only thing, is our point. You have to have other things around that: community, culture, fun, and to sustain and kind of demand that price, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And we live in such a fast-paced world where everyone wants to 100x their money within like 20. Like literally, I just spoke to someone today, and they said they hold their NFTs for 24 hours only. Like that's insane. Like I heard that and I was like, holy shit, that's a very short amount of time. So when we're in a space where everyone wants something so fast and building a great game takes such a long time, how do you even juggle that? How does it affect your mindset? Does it affect you at all? Or are you guys just immune to all the noise?
No, I mean that's definitely a good point. I think the really important key here is just always to think long term. Like we're building a platform for for the next couple of years. We're not really looking at the next week. The market, especially crypto market in general, is just incredibly volatile. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. It's kind of important to not get too caught up in those movements. You don't, like, even if it's dumping or if it's pumping, like you don't want to kind of overemphasize that and really just kind of keep building, heads down. That's what we're all about here.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Snarf, if you want.
No, I was just gonna reiterate on that a little bit. It's been at least for me, it's been a difficult adjustment to see, all the movement and try not to read too much into it and look at the long-term goals that the company has and Nifty League has. It's been really difficult because, we have a great community and they're vocal about it, and we want our, token to do well. We want our NFTs to do well. But at the same time, if we focus too much on short term, we're going to miss the big picture, and we can't really focus on the long term goals of the company. But yeah, Bolo, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. I mean, we're so new to, like, this whole space and just having ownership in gaming in general. And I think for me, I just feel really comfy being on that side of things. Like, I think, pushing the boundary of what's possible is what this is all about. And I think, it's we're at a place where we're kind of having to, sell people on NFT gaming, but I'd rather have them just kind of, I don't really like that kind of word. I'd rather just have them come on their own and choose. And that's kind of like our rental program. Like, I mean, I think we're a really unique company in that you can come and test ride our NFTs right now before you buy. Like, I think that's, I don't know someone else that has that yet, but I think that's a really cool thing that we're offering, because I think it is a big barrier. And I do think that whole short mindset that you're talking about, Buff, is that people get worried about tying their money up. They want to go in, they want to go out. And we're just hoping here at Nifty League that we can just keep value adding, keep you for a long time because you want to be here, but don't feel forced, And I think that's what we're just going to continue to do on our roadmap and everything going forward. Expect a community, a culture being built. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And I have noticed that. I mean, I guess I could spend more time in the Nifty League Discord, but it seems like Nifty League definitely does have one of the more patient communities. Like, they trust you. So maybe you guys
I think it all
have to
just
deal with that issue.
I mean, it kind of comes down to like the games take a long time to build. Like, good quality games are not something you can just like pull up overnight and just put it out there. So I mean, we've seen plenty of other competitors who have put out like hype videos, but like those games aren't realistically coming out for a year or even longer sometimes if they're AAA.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people kind of understand that in this space, and it takes time to build something beautiful. So
yeah,
we do appreciate everyone for the patience and all this.
Yeah, it's
And
been really great seeing the community, understanding that. It's been one of the greatest things. Like, it's hard to imagine that someone who doesn't have like experience in development and doesn't really understand, what the development of a game or a product encompasses, understand that these things are gonna take some time and have that trust in the vision and in us, to to hold and uh, really like see all the other projects that are mostly hype do really well, and us gradually building towards it. That's been really interesting for me and really uh, heartwarming to see from our community.
yeah, hype is never sustainable. So eventually, it's gonna. Hopefully, it doesn't come back down. But gradual
Exactly.
building is the way to go. And Nifty League recently secured their first VC round. Do you guys want to talk about that? And what are some benefits of a game raising, as much dough as you guys did?
Yeah, so I mean, initially we kind of went into this round really just looking for partners who can help us just build and sustain as a company. There's a lot of pieces like behind the scenes that are it's kind of difficult to figure out. We need a lot of partnerships. We need marketing advice, network advice, whatever, and like all that's provided through our network of VCs that we got on board. And the funding, really, like a lot of it's going to building out our team. So we've been hiring really nonstop ever since we closed. So it's kind of cool to see like new developers coming in almost every week, and we're just building.
Cool, awesome. And let's talk about the Genesis Degens. It's a collection of 10,000. And what is the utility behind these Degens?
Yeah, I guess I can take that. Yeah. The Degens, they're like the gateway into the Nifty League goodness, almost. So you own a Degen, you have a key into all the products that we have, right? That's like one side of things. And then on top of that, with our, well, I don't know if we wanted to talk about our rental system that we launched yesterday, or actually
We can talk
Monday.
about it.
It's like almost like an investment for you, in a bet that you have on the company, in a way, that you can rent your degens. Like, that's the new system that we have. You can rent your degen, the token, the NFT token, to new players, so they can play with your character, with your degen, and some of the earning, like a percentage of the earning, goes back to you as the owner of that degen. So if you scale this up, like let's say next year we have 1 million active players playing, and there are only 10,000 degens to be played with, the Genesis degens. Those are going to have a lot of rentals going on for them, which is going to be a huge, a huge attraction and the source of income for these people.
Yeah. And the profit sharing, it's 50-50 at the moment, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
With a sponsor or the owner and player?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you are, it is, again, for the first version of the rental, that is hard-coded to 10% owner, 40% player, 50% sponsor. That is the person who starts the rent for somebody else. So if you're renting for yourself, the sponsor and the player are the same user. But this is going to be dynamic. So you as the owner can set your own percentage. Like, if you don't want to take any royalty in people playing your degen, that's your choice. If you want to take 100%, that's, again, your choice. But a lot less people will probably be attracted to someone who wants to take 100% of the royalty.
Yeah. So what would be the difference between the owner and the sponsor?
So the owner is really just passive, right? You own a degen, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. And then as a sponsor, you are, if you want to imagine it in the current terminology, it would be similar to owning a guild, but then instead of having to own your own NFTs, you can actually use existing NFTs from other owners to rent and give to your scholars.
Okay.
Right, so you have the option of renting other people's degens for yourself or for others, and you don't have to be the owner to do that.
Okay. So let's say I have one degen and I rent it out to someone. For that specific rental, I would be the owner and the sponsor.
Exactly.
Let's say if I used YGG's, if YGG bought some degens and I used their degen to rent it out, they would be the owner and I'll be the sponsor.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
All right, nice.
So
And
as
where
a sponsor,
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, as a sponsor, you would cover the cost of the rental for the player, and then you get a bigger piece of the pie in the earnings, basically.
Okay, cool. And where can people go to rent out the degens?
Yeah, it's actually it is live on app.niftyleague.com. So if they go there, they can just go to our rental dashboard. You can see a list. It's in terms of the UI, it's similar to OpenSea, but instead of just purchasing, you have a rent option where you can browse for your favorite degen, filter filter based on a bunch of criteria that you prefer, and then click rent. And you can either rent for yourself or somebody else, and then you can hop into the game and immediately start using it.
So if I want to rent a degen, do I have to pay 1,000 NFTL or is it free for me?
If you want to rent a degen for yourself, then yes, you have to pay the rental fee that goes towards, 50% of the fee goes to the owner. That's something we didn't discuss. Like the upfront fee is 50% owner, and the rest gets burnt.
Oh, okay.
But the earnings of the degen, like the earnings that they get from playing the game, that is the part that goes to the sponsor, owner, and the player.
Okay, cool. So yeah, just if anyone wants to rent a degen, the ape and the human is the strongest right now. So go for those. And we know that there are different rarities when it comes to degens. There's the common, there's the rare, there's the meta, and there's the legendary. So how does that affect the earning potential or the gameplay?
I can answer that, I guess. Yeah, so we in our system, like with rarity, we have like last year when we launched our minting, everything you could have customized, right? You could select a hair, you could select a hat, you could customize the clothing, everything really. And then as soon as you minted, you were assigned a background that had like a huge what's it called, variance and randomness to it. And then only a few got the rarest backgrounds. We had like the common, that is just the pastel background, and then we had the rare that had like a gradient on the background, meta that was like a picture of one of the maps, and also we had the legendary that was like animated background. And each one of these has with the rarity comes a different multiplier. There is something that we call a multiplier. With different multipliers, you basically have different earning potentials from playing the game. So as a common, your multiplier is 1, and then as a rare, it's 2. As a meta, your multiplier is 3, and as a legendary, your multiplier is 6. So, it kind of, and to put it in context, there are only 100 legendaries, right? So you really have to have one of those super expensive NFTs and sought after NFTs to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But then again, everything kind of works out. It shifts a lot of the attention to those NFTs because they're more valuable, and it shifts a lot of the value to them. That is fair. But then again, in regards to the game, you'll basically have a higher earning potential, right? So if you own a legendary, you can basically max out your earning potential in such a shorter time compared to a common. But then everything else is kind of scaled with it. So the rental cost is higher than a rental cost of the common, and basically the cap is also higher.
Yeah. And I just want to mention we've got Aldo Sake in the stream, and I have played against him so many times, and he is impossible to beat. This guy's crazy. He's crazy.
So many good players. Yeah. I can't play anymore. Just every time they destroy me.
You're getting beat at your own game? Bam.
Oh yeah, since day one. I'm not even kidding.
What about you, Andy? Are you a pro at Nifty League?
I'm scared to go in the game now. It's embarrassing. I can't go with my Degen.
You know, I've been going up against some of these rental players, and I've been doing pretty good. It's just like when I go up against the OGs, then I'm an OG as well, but I started playing the game pretty late, so I get completely wrecked. Oh, but yeah. But anything else you guys want to go over there? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Oh my God, let me just form the sentence properly. Is there anything else you want to mention about the rental system before we move on? No.
Try to think if there's any. Did I miss anything, guys, that you want to mention?
Maybe just go try it out.
Yeah.
Come to our server. We're trying to figure out some ways that we can link recruits and sponsors together more. We just handed out some rental passes, to people that have been playing, active players. That's something that we're always going to try to do is, we watch our active player group or player base and, keep them, sharing the game and because really what we're trying to do with rentals is augment the player base. We need more players, in our ecosystem. And we're really, excited about that future growth. And if you want to just come test ride an NFT for a week, make a little coin and have some fun with your friends, come join us.
Yeah, we did onboard a number of guilds as well with some rental passes. I don't know if Megan wants to go in more detail about that, talk about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a handful of awesome guilds that we're issuing rental passes to. So they're scholars, which we're calling recruits now, can get started without any cost to the guild. That'll all kick off early next week. Really excited to work with you and your guild, Buff. I think you've got probably the right type of scholars for our game, and people that actually love gaming. I think there's always an interesting balance between bringing on players that will take out immediately kind of off-ramp NFTL from our system, which is, by the way, the payouts are all automated, which hopefully reduces a lot of the effort and pain points for guilds to run and scale, which I think is great. But we have to kind of balance and think as we move forward and grow this ecosystem. Are we bringing in the right type of players that can make this sustainable, right? And I think that's it's not easy. It's not an easy solution. I think some guilds have those types of players actually, but many don't. So I think it's a balancing act. I'm really excited to try to onboard Web2 gamers, just like people that love to game, just want to compete, and aren't as much interested to do this as a job replacement, right? They can earn, and that's great, and it's better than what the other option they have in trad gaming, but they're not going to immediately off ramp, for instance. And I think that's the right type of player base that we want to kind of move forward with. It'll be tricky. I think we're going to test some interesting advertising channels across the board. TikTok, which I love your TikTok, by the way. Would love to collab there and get some out there on behalf of Nifty League, and Instagram, paid ads on Google search. I think it'll be awesome. We have a guy in our team, Koa, who is just an expert in search. hopefully we can hit some of the top keywords in NFT gaming and get people into our ecosystem that way as well. So excited to test all this out. But yeah, definitely a big push starting next week on Monday with a bunch of awesome guilds that we're excited to partner with.
Yeah, I'm excited to, I guess, get those rental passes. Time to give out some score. Time to get some recruits. That is the right word. Yes. So yeah, let's talk about the utility of NFTL.
Sure. Oh, Andy, go ahead.
I mean, okay, sure.
We've been talking for too long.
Yeah. So NFTL is both a governance token as well as a utility token within our ecosystem. So some of the kind of immediate utilities that are coming in, or even live right now is the rental system. So you need NFTL to rent a Degen. We kind of talked a little bit earlier about a portion of those tokens are burned, a portion are sent to the owners, sponsor, and then a little bit to the team as well. We're coming out with a marketplace relatively soon for items in game, and those items can also, or skins, whatever you want to call it, those can also give you multipliers as well to increase your earnings. Those will all be purchasable with NFTL. Similarly, we're going to have a land sale. I don't know if we could say a date yet, but I mean, we're getting there. We're definitely close to the Niftyverse going live. And that's those similar to how like the ape sale just went last week. It's going to be done in FTL as well. So it's really just like we're always building new things, and NFTL is going to be the way to kind of access those new tools or whatever we add to the ecosystem. So,
okay, cool. And back to talking about VCs, this is just a question that popped into my head because I'm just trying to learn more in the space. So if you guys can't share it, it's completely okay. But like, did the people that invest in Nifty League, did they give you any advice? And if they did, are you able to talk about it? If not, then we can move on.
They've given us a lot of advice on different areas of the business, and it's kind of a continuing process. Like we kind of meet up with them every month or so and kind of just discuss some of our, some of our goals, some of our what we need to work on, what we need to fix. Some of that can include tokenomics, but it really kind of just depends on the discussion.
Okay. And how many game modes are you guys planning to make? Because right now, we've got Nifty Smashers, and pretty soon we'll be getting Nifty Tennis, and there is 2 more on the roadmap, which is the Nifty Royale and Nifty Kart. So, are we looking at 4 games in total, or are you guys planning to make more?
We're definitely planning to make more. And the bigger titles obviously take longer time to build. Something like Nifty Royale or Nifty Kart is one of those games that are not as simple as creating a game such as like Nifty Tennis that we're actively working on. So you can expect the mini games, much more mini games, or not much, many more mini games to come out, in a shorter term kind of time span. And the bigger ones like Nifty Royale and Nifty Kart, that's going to be, and again, we have some very basic prototypes for these 2 as well. But we just have to, because these are such a big resource sink for our team and for the external efforts, we need to get the community's like basically feedback and voice and vote on which one we want to focus on first. So for sure,
Nifty Royale.
The mini games we're working Nifty Royale. Okay, that's the first vote. You heard it.
My vote is Kart. I really want Kart. I think it's such
okay. That's the second.
Yeah, and it'll bring on some like a different demographic of players. I think like so many more women, so many more like I don't know. I want to do something other than bash people with bats. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good point.
But I was watching, that project Kitty Inu. They have like a cart, a Web3 cart game, and the lag was pretty rough on it. So I wonder about that with cart.
Yeah, it's going to be easier. Like in regards to online multiplayer, Nifty Smashers and the brawlers like Nifty Smashers are the hardest because it needs to be so responsive, and it is one of the hardest games to multiply, if not the hardest. I mean, there are articles about it that, you know, arguably these are the hardest games to make online multiplayer games. Because like there is the physical lag, there is the physical distance between you and the next person, and from the moment you hit them to the moment that they see it, like there is that physical distance and physical, you know, minimum amount of time that your data could get to them, that you have to show something before it actually happens on their screen. And it's really hard. Sometimes you hit a person who had turned around and walked away from you like 100 milliseconds ago. On your screen, you're hitting them, but on their screen, they're way away from you. So there are problems like this with the brawlers that makes them like the most difficult games to kind of compensate for the lag. But the Nifty, sorry, not the card games, the physical-based games, those are also difficult, but not as difficult because you have some room for error and things don't have to be super responsive. Like if your car hits the other car and takes 100 milliseconds to react, you're probably not going to notice it. But if you swing a bat and hit the other player in the face and they just keep moving, that would look super weird on the screen.
Yeah. And what are you guys building in World Wide Web? I'm guessing this is completely separate from Niftyverse, or is it the same thing?
No, it is different. It is completely different. Actually, the Niftyverse, we're keeping under wraps. So the photo that was shown is like from one of our prototypes, and we're creating something really cool. So a lot of the focus and the resources are, you know, on that as we speak. And Web3 was a really cool little, you know, addition for us to give to our community and, you know, integrate our characters into it because it just makes sense. They're a pixel-based world and we are, you know, pixel-based kind of NFT collection. And we just put in the effort, created all the spreadsheets that Web3 needed for us to be integrated. And their great team kind of integrated us very quickly into their ecosystem.
Cool. Did I pronounce it? Did I call it something different? Did I call it World Wide Web? Is it World Wide Web 3? Did I get the name wrong?
No, I think you got the name right. I refer to them as web with 2 B's, 3 sometimes. It's easier.
Okay.
But yeah, World Wide Web, that's
3.
their right name. Yeah. There's a 3, right? I think so.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
there's
that's just for their Twitter handle. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
World
I
Wide Web
was
3.
correct.
Okay.
I'm fine then. I'm fine. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry if I butchered the name or something.
No. Are there going to be nifty pets? Are they going to be chickens?
Yes. Yeah. So
Probably
Definitely.
totally. No. Yeah, the pets, that was a really cool idea. Spike, who's not here, our really creative director that we got, we got to know over the past year. We got really lucky with him that we got to work with him. Everything that you see here visually is his work and his creativity. And yeah, we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for him and his creativity. But yeah, the chickens was also, you know, one of his creations, and people really loved it and asked for us to actually make them real, and so we are. Like this year, yeah, this year we're gonna start creating the bring back the Mintomatic, hopefully, and probably for the pets as well. That's basically the system that we had for our users to customize their characters. So we're going to bring it back so that they can customize their pets. and chicken is one of them.
This is
So-
so much alpha. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because you said you're gonna bring back the Mintomatic and probably for the pets as well. So there's something else coming.
Oh, well, I can't really explain. You can put that, on my bad English, or you can read more into it. I'll leave that to you and the audience. But yeah,
I'll keep it under wraps for now. Are you guys planning to do a mobile launch?
yes. At the moment, well, as you guys know, and at the moment, the focus was rentals and
Yeah.
growing the team, and that's we've sunk a lot of time into finding the right talent for our team. But as time goes on, we're building a more solid base, and we have more hands-on, hands and resources to assign to these things. And the mobile is definitely one of the highest priorities, because a lot of these gamers don't have PCs. Obviously, they want to play, but they can't. So supporting mobile for Nifty Smashers and also for future games is one of the higher priorities. And we will definitely see it this year. That I can't say, but the timeline of it, not really. Don't want to again corner ourselves with dates.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for that. I think it's fair to assume that whoever wants to game and seriously game has a controller. Controllers are not that expensive. So the idea that we had was give access to people on mobile and then make it compatible with controllers, so you can connect the controller to your mobile phone.
Yeah.
And put it on a stand, your phone, and just play.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna be a
super
lot of fun.
excited about mobile. I've worked with mobile teams as a product manager for about 7 years, and I think we're going to be able to bring on some badass mobile engineers to help us build really easy to use, onboarding, snappy apps. And honestly, I haven't seen that in this space. I know it's hard to ship something perfect and great from V1, but there are definitely some easy things we can do to onboard more people, in via mobile. So I am so excited, by the way, to get started there.
Yeah, and I'm excited to play Nifty League Smashers on my mobile. Seems like a fun experience. And for my last question, what is the vision behind Nifty League?
I would say the vision, it's a very, I guess it's very simple to explain, but it is grand. So we really want to be the platform for gaming in Web3, bringing on, other collections, bringing on NFT gamers, bringing on traditional gamers, and have good games, like really good games and competitive games and quality games in Web3, and give them access to all the good things that comes with crypto, and make people really see it. So hopefully, onboarding a lot of the Web2 gamers into this will open their eyes into what crypto has to offer.
Yeah.
And I think our goal is really to build the platform for that, to onboard people from Web2 into Web3 and give them a good experience, give them good games, that is augmented really by the crypto.
Yeah.
And I guess part of that's also not just onboarding gamers, but also onboarding other developers. We want to really create a platform that's open for any indie game studio to come on and build games within, monetize it however they see fit, and just kind of give value back to the whole platform as a whole.
Okay, so are you saying that in the future, other people will be able to build game modes for Nifty League?
Definitely. Yeah, they can build out full games. Snarfy probably has more details on that, some of the progress there, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. And again, this was I totally ignored the development side of things in explaining the vision, but yeah, we're actually currently working with some external game studios and game development teams. We are building a framework for them. Imagine being a developer and having access to a framework that has all the animations, has all the baseline netcode for you, authentication systems for you, and all you need to do is come in, maybe pick up Unity, integrate, or use the base project and just start implementing the game that you want to make, and not worry about any of that stuff, right? The authentication, the netcode, and the animation systems, things like that, and just focusing on the gameplay. I think this will open the door into seeing a lot of those mini games that I was talking about. So as Nifty League, like as the core team of Nifty League, we can't really be pushing out that many games without scaling up, crazily and super fast. So this will open the platform into, other indie games, indie game developers to come in and pitch their idea and build their crazy little game and monetize it. And the way that it's going to work is, since this is a crypto game, and again, one of the good things about it is that this is real money. So it's not like you're being paid with I don't even know, like in Roblox, like you have a bunch of tokens, but you can't really extract it from the system. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But this is so intuitive. Like if you build a game and people go to it and spend money in it, you get a share of that, and you can actually fund the development of that project.
So it's a higher reward when other builders come into the Nifty League space, but it's also very easy for them to build within the game. Cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Snarfy, does this even exist in like the Web2 gaming space, really?
Sort of, I guess. Yeah. So I guess not really, but in the scale that I just explained. But it does exist. Like if you look at even Minecraft, there is no token involved, but you can create your mini games. And if you look at Roblox, like users have the option, like there's a marketplace for these little games that people can create, and other players come into and play and enjoy. So they do have that. But it is very limited in that there is no native support for a currency that can be off-ramped and exchanged for real money. So you have to deal with this like centralized, team that controls the money.
Right.
And like a lot of the frustration is coming out of that. Like if you research and look into Roblox, a lot of people are, complaining about that kind of stuff. That guy, I think crypto will alleviate natively.
Interesting. I would have to say one thing, like it's been such a awesome thing to be able to work with people like Snarfy and Andy who come from AAA gaming studios. I mean, thankfully, a lot of people are leaving those studios and coming to Web3 and building in, Web3 gaming. But it's crazy to see like the interest from other projects that really want us to start like white labeling and building SaaS platforms that would allow them to integrate some of the things that are already in our ecosystem that Snarfy and Andy and the rest of the team are building into theirs. Which I think says a lot about like the quality and cadence of what we're doing here at Nifty League, and also like the need for tooling, off-the-shelf tooling, so that other Web3 games who maybe don't have as solid as like an engineering team with a background like ours to help scale up faster. So I'm excited to see how we can leverage that.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time for Nifty League. I'm looking forward to seeing the project unfold. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Before we end the stream, is there anything else you guys would like to add?
I'll just say thanks so much for all your support of Nifty League Buff. I mean, I think you've been an OG to our community, and we're just really excited to build into the future, grow into the future, and just have fun. Like I'm saying, I mean, we're really just trying to be a really fun platform, and I imagine every game that we put out will be very fun. And we're just, really happy to have you supporting us. So thank you, bro.
Thank you for making the game. Yeah, and that is all. Have a great day. Have a great night wherever you are. And thank you guys for coming on. It was a great chat, and I hope everyone watching enjoyed the stream as well. So,
Thank you,
Legendaries.
Professor.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Professor. Always
everybody.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Fun chatting with you guys.
Thank you,
you gotta
Sandstorm.
make sure you gotta do a Malibu shot
Oh,
before you do it.
I've got green tea. I hope that works.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tea
that's
shot.
good. That's good.
Thanks, well.
We gotta wait for
Sorry,
y'all.
Slaterade to end the stream.
Okay.
Where's Slaterade?
Plenty of time to go